I drugged and forced my husband to sleep with our housegirl so that we could have a child. After he spent a night with the housegirl, he woke the next morning and told me that he was madly in love with her, that he enjoyed her in bed more than me, and she was more romantic than me. It all started when Mero told her husband John to sleep with their housegirl to have a child after being married for 10 years without a child. They had been to several hospitals and places, and there was nothing medically or spiritually wrong with them. Honey, I am tired of childlessness. Please, I want you to sleep with Elizabeth, our housegirl, and get her pregnant. After she gives birth, we can pay her off handsomely, sell all our properties, carry the baby, and relocate to another village, said Mero. What? How could you advise me to commit such an atrocity? Do you want me to tarnish the image of this family? Mero, the love I have for you is far beyond what you just told me to do. It's not our fault that we never have children. Let's continue to be patient, hope, believe, and trust in God for children. Mero, I will never sleep with my housegirl in the name of having a child. I want children from your womb, and that's final. John responded. Baby, if we continue to wait for me to give birth, I don't know how long it will take. Please, just grant me this request. Let's just have one child first. Mero kept begging her husband. Okay, if that's the case, let's adopt a 6-month-old baby and relocate from this village. Are you okay with that? John asked. No, please, I am not okay with adoption. What if the child has been possessed by an evil spirit? Please, just sleep with our housegirl. That's the best decision we can take to get rid of this childlessness, she insisted. Mero, count me out. I will never do that. If you don't accept adoption, then forget about it, and don't you ever call me for this kind of pointless discussion nonsense. John walked away furiously. After her husband left angrily, Mero began to think of what she would do to make her husband sleep with their housegirl. And she eventually got a plan, and thereafter, she called their housegirl named Elizabeth, and she came out. Elizabeth, I want you to do something very significant for me, and I am going to pay you handsomely, said Mero. Madam, what's that? Elizabeth asked. Are you sure you will do it? Madam, I will do anything possible for you, Elizabeth responded. Elizabeth, you've been with us for over 5 years. I believe you've seen how my husband and I have been struggling badly to have a child, said Mero. I know, Ma, but what exactly do you want me to do, please? Elizabeth asked. Elizabeth, I want you to seduce my husband and sleep with him, and you will continue sleeping with him until you conceive, said Mero. Jesus Christ. Madam, no, I can do anything for you, but I can't sleep with your husband. You're like a mother and a sister to me, please. I can do any other things for you, but you see, this one is very impossible, Elizabeth replied. Please, Elizabeth, I understand how you feel. Please, just sleep with him and get pregnant for him, and I will pay you 1 million naira. Are you in? Mero asked. No, Ma, I can't do that. Your husband can even kill me if I try to seduce him. Please, Ma, I don't want problems, Elizabeth responded. Forget about what my husband will do. I know what I will do to make him sleep with you. But please, Ma, I will never sleep with him. I will give you 2 million naira. 1 million naira now and 1 million naira when you get pregnant for him, said Mero. Okay, Ma, but I'm afraid of your husband. Elizabeth, don't worry about my husband. Just play your roles and leave my husband for me. Okay, Ma, I will take the risk. I am sending you 1 million naira now, but you will swear that any day you disclose this secret to anyone, you will bleed uncontrollably for the rest of your life, said Mero. So, After Elizabeth swore, Mero sent her 1 million naira straight away. A few days later, Mero persuaded her husband and drugged him. In the night, she forced her husband John to sleep in their guest room with Elizabeth, and both of them spent the night in the guest room. In the morning, John went to his wife and said, "Mero, after all the warnings, you had the temerity to drug me and make me sleep with Elizabeth. Honey, please, I am very sorry. You know, if we don't take quality action and risk, we will not have a child. I am very sorry to have betrayed you. I just want the best for this family." Mero apologized. "My dear wife, there is no need for you to apologize. The good news is that I am madly in love with Elizabeth now. She's very romantic and lovely, and I even enjoyed her more than you," John responded. "John, what are you trying to say? Because I don't understand what you just said," Mero curiously asked. "Mero, quit the pretense. You heard me well and clear. I didn't hear you clearly. Please repeat it." "Madam, I said I am in love with Elizabeth. That girl is super good." "John, so it has gotten to the point of you calling me madam, right? Obviously you're joking." "Please, I don't have your time this morning," John responded. "Sweetheart, where are you? Please come," John called Elizabeth in the presence of his wife. "Sir, I am here," said Elizabeth. "Elizabeth, you remember I told you that I am deeply in love with you, so henceforward, stop calling me sir. We're lovers now, and I want you to be calling me romantic names like baby, sweetheart, darling, honey, and so on. Is that clear?" John asked. "Yes, sir." "Oh, sorry, sweetheart," Elizabeth responded. "Elizabeth, what's the meaning of this madness that you're doing? What did you use on my husband?" Mero asked. "Elizabeth, I told you I will be going to work first thing this morning, so go and prepare my breakfast. I don't like all these dresses you always wear. When I come back from work, I will take you out and buy clothes and shoes. Elizabeth, this is my house, so do whatever you want to do and don't be afraid of anybody in this house. But if you're not comfortable here, just let me know so that I can rent apartments for you," said John. After Elizabeth went to the kitchen, "John, why are you doing all these to me?" Mero asked with teary eyes. "Mero, you started it, and I want to finish what you started, so whatever I do in this house, you have to bear it, and let me warn you, stay away from my affair. Elizabeth is no longer our house girl. She is my lover, so it's high time you employ another house girl or boy," John responded and left. A few days later, Mero was having mysterious feelings, so she went to a hospital for a medical checkup, and the result came out that she was 2 weeks pregnant. But she couldn't believe the result, so she went to 3 hospitals to confirm whether she was truly pregnant, and all the results came out that she was 2 weeks pregnant. "So I was even pregnant before I paid that wicked house girl to sleep with my husband. Look at what impatience has landed me. I wish I knew a day like this would come hastily. I could have been patient like John said. I was too desperate and hasty to have a child by all means. My loving and caring husband no longer has time for me. He's now addicted to Elizabeth. Oh God, why me?" Mero lamented. When her husband returned from work and she showed him the pregnancy test results, she was shocked by her husband's response. "Mero, you're the funniest person I've ever seen in my entire life. Who are you trying to deceive, eh? You went and forged pregnancy test results, and you expect me, John, to believe you. Who does that? Please, take these results from my presence. I need some space right now," John responded. "John, so it has gotten to the extent that you lost your trust in me?" Mero asked with teary eyes. I lost my trust in you since the day you drugged me and caused me to sleep with Elizabeth, so there is absolutely nothing that you will do that will make me trust you again. I'm concerned about our safety if we continue sharing a bed while our trust is broken. And I rather eat from outside than eat the meal you prepared. Because I don't trust you a bit. You might poison me, claim to be an innocent and accuse Elizabeth of killing me. You think I don't know all your evil plans in this house. Betrayal, leave my presence. John responded. John, why are you continuously causing me severe pains and heartbreak? Have I ever faked anything for you, or lied to you before? Point of correction. I am not causing you any pains and heartbreak. Hold yourself responsible for everything you're passing through today, because you are the cause of everything. Mero, I loved and trusted you beyond what you did. I told you to be patient, and that we would surely have children at the appointed time. But you had the shameless audacity to drug me and make me sleep with our housegirl. Because of lack of patience and endurance, and now I am deeply in love with the girl. Just as the same way, I was in love with you when I met you freshly, and there is nothing anyone or you can do to make the love and feelings I have for Elizabeth to dwindle. Just have this at the back of your mind. Syed John. Okay, fine. I accepted the blame, but you just have to understand that I was very desperate to have a child. But it's so unfortunate that everything turned out this way. I know I am not trustworthy and straightforward, but please, I want you to believe these pregnancy test results. The pregnancy is real. I can't forge it. I was having weird feelings this morning. I never had such feelings before. So I decided to go to the hospital for a medical checkup. And I was stunned when the doctor said I was pregnant. I didn't believe the doctor. So I had to go to 3 extra hospitals for confirmation, and they all confirmed that I am pregnant. John, please believe me. I can't fake pregnancy, said Mero. Mero, as far as I am concerned, the pregnancy you're talking about is absolutely fake. Apparently you paid the doctors to give you all these fake results. You think you can deceive me? I swear to God who created me, I didn't forge the results. Okay, fine, if you don't believe me. Let's go to any hospital and conduct a pregnancy test. If the result comes that I am not pregnant, please feel free to divorce me, said Mero. Mero, I'm not going anywhere. You think I don't know that you can connive with a doctor and forge a pregnancy test result? Please get lost with all these fake ideas and results and stop trying to flatter me. John replied and walked away. Mero pregnancy took the matter from bad to worse, because John didn't believe the pregnancy at all. He thought possibly Mero was looking for a way to gain his attention, but he never knew Mero was truly pregnant. And when the pregnancy grew bigger, John accused Mero of pumping her tummy. He didn't still believe that Mero was truly pregnant. John ignored Mero completely, and Mero thought Elizabeth had cast a spell on her husband. After she was completely ignored and rejected many times by her husband, out of frustration and unbearable heartbreak and pains, she took a photo of Elizabeth and her husband and went to a very powerful spiritualist to make Elizabeth run mad and to make her husband love and trust her because the circumstances were beyond her control. But she was dazed by what the spiritualist told her about Elizabeth and her husband John. Woman, may I know the reason why you want this innocent girl mad? The spiritualist asked. Wise one, she cast a spell on my husband and snatched him away from me. My husband loves the girl to the point he doesn't have the slightest time for me. So I want her to wake up from sleep and run mad. Mero responded. I don't get it. Is it the girl in this picture that snatched your husband? The spiritualist asked in confusion. Yes, great one. My husband is addicted to the girl. Woman, these two people I am seeing are not doing what you're talking about. The girl is innocent of the accusation. The spiritualist responded, "Wise one, I don't understand what you are talking about. My husband has been sleeping with the girl countless times, and my husband even told me face to face that he's madly in love with the girl. Great one, please grant my requests," Mero insisted. "Woman, have you ever caught your husband red-handedly sleeping with this girl?" the spiritualist asked. "No, but they always shared a bed, and my husband told me that he enjoyed the girl more than me," Mero answered. "Woman, go home and be patiently waiting on your delivery day. Don't mind anything your husband and the girl are doing. The mysteries behind what they are doing shall be revealed on the day you will give birth." The spiritualist responded, "Wise one, I don't understand. What mysteries are you talking about? I am not the one to reveal the mysteries, and these mysteries were assigned to be revealed on the day of your delivery, so you may leave." The spiritualist responded, and Mero left the spiritualist's place furiously, without believing what the spiritualist told her, and went directly to her husband's best friend, named Jerry, in his house. "Jerry, please, you're the only person that knows everything about my husband, including all his plans. So please tell me the truth. Did my husband tell you what's going on between him and my housegirl Elizabeth?" Mero asked. "Well, he told me that he is madly in love with Elizabeth, and he also intends to marry her, so that's all I know," Jerry responded. "What have I done to John that makes him hate me with a passion? He keeps on tormenting my feelings every blessed day," Mero lamented. "Mero, you know what you did, so stop trying to blame John. But I don't think your husband is truly having affairs with Elizabeth, because there was a day he came to my house with Elizabeth, and there was a weird statement he made that day that got me thinking up till now," said Jerry. "Jerry, please, what statement did he make? Tell me, I'm desperate to know," Mero asked, and opened her ears widely to listen to Jerry. "John and Elizabeth came when my wife was preparing lunch. So after she finished, John and I went to the dining and left Elizabeth. So when my wife came out from the kitchen and she didn't see Elizabeth at the dining table, she said, 'Elizabeth, come to the dining table, your food is here.' And John responded to my wife, 'No, she can't eat in the same dining table with me, so just give her food and let her eat there or in the kitchen.' John, I don't understand. Is it not this same Elizabeth you told me that you were in love with?" I asked. "Jerry, when I am in my house, Elizabeth is my lover. But when I am outside, she's my housegirl, and I am her boss," John responded. "So that was what happened that day, Mero. I will advise you should take everything easy. I notice that you lack patience. Try and be patient and have faith that everything will be fine sooner or later," said Jerry. "Thank you very much, Jerry. I want to be on my way now. Take care of yourself, please." Mero got home and started minding her business. She took her mind off everything her husband and Elizabeth were doing. One faithful day, Mero and her best friend Jennifer were in the living room talking and enjoying themselves. John and Elizabeth came back from the hospital with an envelope, and when he saw Mero and her best friend, he started singing, dancing, and flaunting the envelope. "This is genuine pregnancy, not a fake pregnancy. Finally, I will become a father. God, thank you. Baby, please inform your family members that I will be coming to pay your bride price next week," said John. "Okay, I will do that as soon as possible, sweetie," Elizabeth replied with a fake smile. "Elizabeth, I want you to name just one request, and I will grant you right here. Is it a car, a house, or a trip to Dubai?" "Just name it," said John. "Let's go inside. I will tell you," Elizabeth replied. When they walked away, Mero became as angry as a bear with a sow head. She became extremely angry to the extent she wanted to stone John with the bottle of wine that they were drinking. but her best friend held her very tight and took her to her house to cool off her anger. A few hours later, "Mero, I didn't know that was what you always go through every day, my dear. You need to do something before everything gets out of hand," said Jennifer. "Jennifer, I am fed up with that marriage. What do you want me to do?" Mero asked. "My dear best friend, with what I saw today, chances are excellent that Elizabeth would take your position in your matrimonial home. You better wake up from this deadly sleep and act speedily," said Jennifer. "You're very correct. So what do you want me to do at this juncture?" Mero asked. "Kill your husband and inherit all his properties and accuse Elizabeth of killing him. After you succeed in killing your husband, I will tell you what you will do to prove to everyone beyond a reasonable doubt that your husband was truly killed by Elizabeth. If you don't kill him now, if Elizabeth gives birth, John might send you away. Don't forget he doesn't love you anymore, and he also doesn't believe that you're pregnant. So it is high time for you to kill him and have peace of mind," said Jennifer. "Jennifer, I can never kill my husband. It has not gotten to that extent, please. Talk about something else, please." Mero responded. "Mero, I never knew you don't always think and reason like a normal human being. This same husband you're talking about hates you with a passion. He doesn't care to know whether you're okay or not. He doesn't trust and believe you slightly, and above all, he impregnated your housegirl and intend to marry her. And you're foolishly here, claiming that you have a husband," Jennifer responded. "Jennifer, I know my husband doesn't love me anymore, and he doesn't care about me and my conditions, but I can't kill him. I would prefer to seek a divorce rather than resort to violence. Jennifer, I am beginning to suspect you. It seems you're always praying for my downfall. This was how you advised me to drug and force my husband to sleep with my housegirl. And the result turned out to be a disaster. Please, I will never kill my husband." Mero responded. "Mero, you're a fool for saying these to me. I told you to secretly sleep with your husband's friend." Flashback. A few months ago. "Jennifer, I am tired of childlessness. I have been married to John for good 10 years without having a child, and he's not doing anything about it. Every time he would tell me to be patient, and that children would come at the appointed time, and I have been waiting for that appointed time to come, and the appointed time has not come. I am tired, Jennifer," Mero lamented. "I feel your pains, Mero, but let me tell you something that you don't know if you continue to wait for your husband to get you pregnant. My dear best friend, you will wait forever. Forget about the appointed time. He's just deceiving you. Let me tell you the truth, you and your husband are not destined to have children together." Jennifer responded. "Jennifer, you may be right, but how did you know?" Mero asked. "Sorry, I hid this from you. There was this powerful prophet that I met a few months ago. So I showed the photo of you and your husband to the prophet, and I told him that this couple have been married for a good 10 years without a child. He said, 'These people are not destined to have children together.' That was what the prophet told me," said Jennifer. "Jennifer, I believe what the prophet said. So what do you suggest I should do? Please, tell me. I am super confused and disorganized." Mero, "You know your husband has a friend who is a womanizer and lover of money. So I want you to secretly give him a huge amount of money and convince him to sleep with you. And don't stop sleeping with him until you realize that you're pregnant. And when you are pregnant, make no mistakes to disclose to him that you are pregnant so that the child will be your husband's child. Do this and thank me later. Trust me, your husband's friend would keep the secret forever," said Jennifer. "God forbid. I will never sleep with my husband's friend. Please talk about something else." Mero responded. "Okay, Persuade your husband to sleep with your housegirl, and when the girl gets pregnant, pay her off immediately, sell all your properties, and relocate to another village with your husband and the baby. But if your husband doesn't agree to sleep with Elizabeth, I will give you a substance to put in his food, and when he eats it, he will be out of his senses and will not know anything," said Jennifer. "That's a very big risk. What about adoption?" Mero asked. "Adoption is not good at all. The child might be possessed by a mysterious evil spirit. You know this wicked world, anything can happen. So don't go for adoption. Just do what I said and thank me later," said Jennifer. "I agree with you. The world is full of evil. I will take the risk, please. So where is the substance?" Mero asked. "The substance will be ready tomorrow. Trust me, if you do what I just said, you won't regret it." "I trust you. Thank you for always wanting the best for me. You're indeed a best friend." Mero appreciated Jennifer. "You can say that again. Don't worry, when everything works out as we plan, I will buy you a brand new car," said Mero. I can't wait. Jennifer, thank you for always standing by me. My life would have been miserable and incomplete without your presence in my life. You're a great friend. Mero praised Jennifer. "Anything for you," said Jennifer, the end of flashback. "Jennifer, I swear you're not a good person. You just want to ruin my life and my marriage," said Mero. "Mero, enough. Stand up and leave my house. And don't you ever come to my house with your family's problems. I did not give birth to you. Please stand up and use the door before I do something nasty to you right now." Jennifer furiously drove Mero out of her house, and Mero went back to her matrimonial home and continued to mind her business. A week later, Mero got a shocking information that her husband paid Elizabeth's bride price. So she went and confronted her husband, and even her husband was stunned when he heard the shocking news of him paying Elizabeth's bride price. "Hey, Mr. Man, stand here and tell me what I have done to you to deserve all these severe pains and heartbreak that you are putting me through every day," Mero asked furiously. "What did I do again?" John asked. "Oh, you're asking me as if you don't know what you did." "Seriously, I don't know what you are talking about," John responded. "Stop pretending, liar. It is very obvious that you're not serious. I don't have time for this drama this morning. Please." John responded and wanted to walk away, but Mero held his shirt and dragged him closer to herself. "Where did you think you're going? Shameless man, stand here and tell me what gave you the guts to pay Elizabeth's bride price." "Me? Paid what? Mero who fed her with this fake information?" John asked. "John, you're our pretender and a bloody liar," said Mero. "Mero, do you truly believe that I can pay Elizabeth's bride price?" "Oh, yes, I believe. You're very heartless and shameless. You can foolishly and unashamedly do anything," Mero responded. "Very well then. If you believe that I paid Elizabeth's bride price, then is true. John falsely agreed that he paid Elizabeth's dowry and walked away. Despite everything Mero went through, she never thought of divorcing her husband. A few weeks later, Mero got another shocking information that her husband and Elizabeth were secretly planning to relocate to another village without her knowing. When Mero heard the information, she couldn't control herself any longer because of unbearable heartbreak and severe pain. "No, I cannot bear these pains anymore. I must kill him. I have tolerated him enough. I must end his life and make Elizabeth's life miserable. Let me go to Jennifer's house and apologize to her," said Mero thereafter. Mero went to Jennifer's house, apologized to Jennifer, and conspired to kill her husband. And it was just 2 months to her delivery, and for the mysteries behind what her husband and Elizabeth were doing to be revealed. But because of a lack of patience and endurance, she went and conspired with her best friend Jennifer to kill her husband, John. Write the word "continue" in the comment section if you want a part 2.
Please tell me, are you enjoying the story? If so, tell me, what lessons have you actually learned? I would really love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. And remember to support this channel. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, just say something. Even a word could literally mean a whole lot. So I want you to tell me, what lessons have you learned from this story? Trust me, these are situations that most people actually gone through. I'm sure some of you that are watching this story have actually gone through this situation. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you dealt with the situation that you were faced with.
A few weeks later, Mero got another shocking information that her husband and Elizabeth were secretly planning to relocate to another village without her knowing. When Mero heard the information, she couldn't control herself any longer because of unbearable heartbreak and severe pain. No, I cannot bear these pains anymore. I must kill him. I have tolerated him enough. I must end his life and make Elizabeth's life miserable. Let me go to Jennifer's house and apologize to her, said Mero thereafter. Hey, Mero, stay outside. What are you doing in my house? Have I not warned you not to come to my house? Jennifer asked fakely. Jennifer, please, I am very sorry for everything. Forgive me, please, Mero apologized. It's okay. I knew that you would certainly come back to me. Let's go inside, please, Jennifer replied. When they got inside, Jennifer asked, So, why are you in my house this early? Jennifer, could you imagine that my husband paid Elizabeth's bride price and they're secretly planning to relocate to another village? Said Mero. I heard the news. So what are your plans now? Jennifer asked. To kill him and to make Elizabeth suffer for the rest of her life. I am tired of endurance and heartbreak, Mero responded. Wow, now you're talking like a wise and reasonable person. When do you intend to kill him? Jennifer asked. Next week. I want to give him a slight time to see whether he would change, Mero replied. Mero, whatever you want to do concerning these issues on the ground, do it instantly. I hope you know delay is dangerous. Don't you think before that next week you're talking about, your husband might secretly sell all his properties and travel out of this town with Elizabeth without you knowing? Said Jennifer. You're very correct. I thought of what you just said lately. So where do we go from here? Mero asked. I am preparing breakfast now. When I am done, I will take you somewhere, Jennifer responded. A few hours later, Jennifer took Mero to a deadly shrine in a very small remote village to kill her husband John and to make Elizabeth's life miserable. Woman, what brought you to my shrine? The native doctor asked. Mero gave the picture of her husband and Elizabeth to the native doctor and said, I want you to kill this man and make this girl's life miserable forever. The native doctor collected the pictures and put them inside a calabash and began to do some incantations. After he finished the incantation, he gave her back the pictures and said, Woman, take these pictures and leave my shrine. I can't harm these two souls. Wise one, why can't you harm them? Mero asked. These souls are innocent. Woman, I sense very serious disasters in your matrimonial home. So be very, very careful with whom you share your problems. Someone has finished digging your grave, and that soul has set many traps for you to enter the grave, and the soul keeps on pushing you towards the direction of the traps. If you mistakenly fall into any of the traps, that will be the end of your life, the native doctor responded. Wise one, which soul are you talking about, please? Mero asked curiously. The gods have not revealed the person, but be careful, the native doctor responded. Please, wise one, what should I do now? Mero asked fearfully. Woman, go back to your husband's house and exercise patience. Your problems are impatience, intolerance, and talkativeness. If you're not careful enough, these problems would send you to your early grave, the native doctor responded. Wise one, I am very scared. "What should I do to flee from these disasters you're talking about?" Mero asked. "Woman, it is only patience, tolerance, and the ability to keep secrets and keep your mouth shut that would avert you from these disasters that an enemy has programmed ahead of you. You may go now," the native doctor replied. Mero left the shrine with a heavy burden and a bunch of confusion and went to meet Jennifer. When they packed the car and got home, Mero disclosed everything the native doctor told her to Jennifer. "Don't mind what that man said. Many of them don't see and know anything. I have another plan, but I think he might be right. I have this feeling that Elizabeth is the one who dug the grave for you. Possibly she is planning to kill your husband and accuse you of killing him," said Jennifer. "I don't think Elizabeth can do that to John," said Mero. "Mero, why are you always thinking childishly? If Elizabeth could have a mind to cast a spell on your husband and snatch him away from you, that means she can do anything," said Jennifer. "It is true, so what do you suggest I should do to get rid of these issues on the ground?" Mero asked. "When you finally actualize killing John and accuse Elizabeth of killing him, you will have peace of mind. If you don't kill him now and you allow Elizabeth to kill him, Elizabeth and all of John's family members and friends would accuse you of killing him. Don't forget you and John have very big problems at hand. They might think you killed him because of what happened between you and him. You might end up committing suicide because of anguish, shame, and reproach. I believe this was what the native doctor was trying to tell you. Mero, act fast now before it's too late," said Jennifer. "Jennifer, I agree with you. I swear your head is full of wisdom. I will do exactly what you said before it's too late." Mero agreed to kill her husband. "The operation will take place tomorrow morning by 4 a.m. Don't worry about yourself, just leave everything for me. I will handle it," Jennifer responded. "I trust you," said Mero. Thereafter, Jennifer planned how they would carry out the operation. The next morning, Jennifer tapped Mero, and she got up hastily and wore a mask. Jennifer wore a mask, carried a gun and a small knife, and also carried 10 liters of petrol and a matchbox, and they got into the car. "Jennifer, what are you going to do with this petrol and matches?" Mero asked. "Don't worry, you will know the reason later. Keep driving," Jennifer responded. When they got there, Mero called and lured her gatekeeper to open the gate, and when the gateman opened the gate, Jennifer hastily stabbed the gateman with a knife. Mero silently opened the house door, and they went inside. Mero was very afraid to handle a gun and shoot her husband. Jennifer collected the gun and went straight to John's room, while Mero was in the parlor. When she got to John's room, John forgot to lock his door. She entered and saw John and Elizabeth sleeping without clothes, so she shot John on his head and also shot Elizabeth and ran away from the room. When they got outside, Jennifer gave Mero the gun, and they were about to run away from the compound. Jennifer held Mero tightly from back and began to shout heavily, "Somebody help! Someone killed her husband, and she wants to run away." Suddenly, people came out massively, and they saw the corpse of the gateman, and they went inside and saw John and Elizabeth's corpses. Mero was still holding the gun. Jennifer and those people began to beat Mero pitilessly. "Let's burn her alive. She's an evil woman," said Jennifer. Those people brought a tire, and Jennifer ran to Mero's car and brought the petrol and the matches. They put the tire on Mero's neck and poured the petrol all over her body, and when they wanted to light a fire, Mero screamed out heavily, "No!" And she was extremely grateful and amazed by what happened next. After they put the tire on Mero's neck, Jennifer hastily brought the petrol and poured it all over her body, and when they wanted to light a fire to burn Mero alive, Mero screamed out heavily, "No!" and woke up. When she woke up, her body was soaked with sweat, and she was strengthless. She looked at the time. It was the exact time for the operation. "Thank God it was a dream. Thank you, Lord, for the revelation," said Mero. While she was praying, Jennifer was knocking at her room's door, and after she finished praying, she sluggishly went and opened the door. "Mero, it's time for the operation. Take this mask and wear it, and let's go," said Jennifer. "Thank you, Jennifer, but I am no longer interested in killing my husband. I have terminated the plans, so please kindly go back to your bed and sleep," Mero responded courageously. "Mero, why?" Jennifer asked. "The reason is best known to me," Mero responded. "Mero, what's going on? Why are you acting up? This was not what we planned last night." "Madam, don't you understand simple English again? I said I don't want to kill my husband anymore, so what's now your problem?" Mero asked while packing her clothes. "Mero, why the sudden change of mind? What's happening?" Jennifer asked. Mero disclosed the nightmare she had to Jennifer, and Jennifer said, "Mero, you're very funny. That was a mere dream. So is it because of the ordinary dream that you're behaving like this? I beg, forget about the dream and let's carry out the operation this morning." "Jennifer, did you just say it was a mere dream?" Mero asked. "Yes. Don't allow a flimsy nightmare to discourage you." "Jennifer, may thunder fire that your stinky sweet mouth. After God has exposed all your evil plans, you still expect me to accompany you to go and kill my husband? You're a devil in human form. You want to ruin my life, and after you succeed in ruining my life, you will relocate to go and enjoy your life with your husband and your daughter. May God punish you, and this your sweet mouth for all the destructive advice you've given me. I thought you were a best friend. I never knew you were a betrayal and an agent of destruction. God will reward you for all your evil deeds. Sooner or later, you would reap all the evil you've sowed, beast. Get out of my way and let me pass," said Mero. Jennifer became as mad as a bruised snake and said, "Mero, I swear with my mother's grave, I will deal with you." "Jennifer, you can never do anything to me. Just get ready to reap what you sow, and let me warn you, if anything happens to my husband, I will hold you responsible," Mero replied and drove away. After Mero left, Jennifer swore to kill Mero's husband John and accuse Mero of killing her husband. A few hours later, Mero arrived at her elder sister's house and disclosed everything she went through to her elder sister. "Mero, you mean you went through all these pains and you've been hiding it from your family?" her sister asked. "I am sorry, sister. The truth is that I didn't want to tell my family what I was going through because I knew very well that everybody would blame me for foolishly forcing my husband to sleep with our housegirl. That was why I hid it from all the members of our family, including our mum," Mero responded. "Mero, just look at how foolish and senseless you are. Why are you telling me now? You've used your mouth to destroy your matrimonial home?" her sister asked angrily. "Sister, the circumstances are beyond my control. I am tired of dying in silence. I can't help myself any longer," Mero lamented. "You had problems with your husband. You could not share them with your family. You hid them from your siblings and your mother, and you foolishly went and shared them with that beast you called a best friend, and you allowed her to mislead you. Mero, you're a very senseless human being, and if not because you're pregnant, I could have sent you out of my house right now and disclosed everything you told me to everyone. Get ready. I will take you to church this evening for deliverance because you need serious deliverance," her sister replied. "Honey, please take it easy with her. I feel her pains. She made mistakes, and nobody is above that. Please just let her be," said her sister's husband. Thereafter, her elder sister took her to a pastor's house. When they got there, she opened up everything she went through to the pastor, and the pastor said, "Madam, you're the one who gave your best friend access to destroy you because you always told her every good and bad thing that was happening in your life. She is always jealous and envies your marriage, especially when you tell her how your husband always takes good care of you and pampers you. She has been looking for thousands of ways to ruin your marriage and your life. Madam, just thank God for the revelation. If not because of that revelation, only God knows whether you would still be alive by now. Thank you very much, man of God. I trusted that lady so much. I never knew she could plan evil against me. Mero appreciated the pastor. The next day, Jennifer sent thugs to go and kill Mero's husband. "Hello, Pharaoh. I have a job for you. Where are you?" Jennifer asked. "Madam, I am not in town right now, but I am sending you my guy who will deliver the job perfectly for you," Pharaoh responded. "I will be waiting for him," said Jennifer. A few moments later, the guy arrived. "Good day, ma'am. I am Stone. Pharaoh sent me here." "Okay, take this picture. I want you to kill this man. He's my husband, but I want him dead tonight, and I will pay you 1.5 million naira now. And when the work is done, I will balance you 1 million naira, said Jennifer. "Consider it done, madam," Stone replied. Thereafter, Jennifer gave Stone John's house address and told him the exact time John would come back from work. By 8:30 p.m., John came back from work, and as soon as John entered his house, Stone climbed a fence and entered the compound. He began to walk silently towards the direction of the door, and when John entered his room, he put on CCTV cameras. As soon as he turned on the CCTV cameras, he saw Stone tiptoeing in his compound, and John hastily carried his own gun and tiptoed to his parlour's door. He put the gun at his back pocket, and immediately after he opened the door, Stone pointed a gun at his forehead, and John was not able to bring out his gun. "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I will give you anything you want," John murmured. "Shut up. Say your last prayer right now," Stone commanded. Elizabeth was in the kitchen, and when she heard their voices, she rushed out to the parlour to see what was happening, and when she came out, she saw the gun in John's back pocket. She raised her hands and said, "Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." As soon as she walked close to John, she quickly removed the gun and shot Stone in his right hand instantly, and the gun fell from his hands. John picked the gun immediately and pointed at him. "Who sent you to come and kill me?" John asked angrily. "Please, sir, don't kill me. It was your wife who sent me to come and kill you," Stone responded. "What? Are you saying my wife sent you to come and kill me?" John asked furiously. "Yes, sir," Stone replied. "Mero had the temerity to send an assassin to come and kill me. I see why she blocked all my access to her. Mero, I will leave no stone unturned until you go to prison." "Hello, DPO. Please send me your boys right away. My wife sent an assassin to assassinate me." "Please, sir, take it easy. I don't think your wife can send someone to come and take your life. She doesn't have that kind of heart," said Elizabeth. "If Mero could have the guts to drug me, that means she can kill me," John responded. While they were interacting, 3 policemen arrived and took Stone away. The next morning, John went to the station. "Sir, where is your wife? She needs to be arrested," said the police officer. "Yes, but the truth is that I have not set my eyes on her for a week now, and she blocked all my access to her, but I believe she would be in her elder sister's house, because that's the only relative she has in this town," John replied. They were about to go to Mero's elder sister's house to arrest Mero when suddenly Stone's phone rang, and it was Jennifer, so the officer hastily went and gave Stone the phone. "Hello, Stone. How far? You didn't call me as you promised. Did you kill him?" Jennifer asked. The officer whispered, "Say yes." "Yes, madam, I am coming for my balance this morning," Stone replied. "Come quickly because I will soon go to work," said Jennifer. After the call ended, John said, "That's not my wife's voice. Anyway, let's go there now." Thereafter, Stone, John and the policeman went to Jennifer's house. "Sir, this is your wife who sent me to come and kill you," said Stone. "She's not my wife, but my wife's best friend. I warned Mero countless times to stay away from this lady. But she wouldn't listen," said John. They arrested Jennifer and took her to the station. When they got to the station, Jennifer said it was Mero who gave her 5 million naira to send the assassin to kill her husband, John. Jennifer had recorded when Mero said she would kill her husband and make Elizabeth suffer for the rest of her life. So she brought out her phone and played the audio recording of her and Mero, the part she recorded. "Jennifer, could you imagine my husband paid Elizabeth's bride price and they're secretly planning to relocate abroad?" said Mero. "I heard the news. So what are your plans now?" Jennifer asked. "To kill him and to make Elizabeth suffer for the rest of her life. I am tired of endurance and heartbreak," Mero replied. Thereafter, John took the policeman to Mero's elder sister's house, and when they got there, Mero's sister and her husband had gone to work, so they arrested Mero. When they got to the station, they asked Mero why she paid Jennifer 5 million naira to send an assassin to kill John. She said Jennifer lured her to kill her husband, John, and she was ready to kill John when she heard the news of him paying their housegirl's dowry and his secret plans to relocate abroad with the housegirl. But she later terminated the plans for killing her husband instantly and engaged in a serious quarrel with Jennifer after she had a terrible dream about what they were planning to do. So she narrated the dream to them. A few moments later, Mero's sister and her husband came to the police station. When the policeman asked them questions, they narrated exactly what Mero narrated to the policeman. So, at the end of the case, they released Mero and detained Jennifer and Stone. A month and 2 weeks later, John got a surprising call from Mero's elder sister. "John, good day," Mero's sister greeted. "Good day, madam. How is the family?" John asked. "We thank God. I called you to inform you that Mero, your wife, has given birth to twins, a boy and a girl, this afternoon. But she said she doesn't want to see you," Mero's sister replied and ended the call. John became extremely amazed because he never believed that Mero was truly pregnant. When he told Elizabeth, she was extremely happy. Thereafter, John took Elizabeth and drove joyfully to Mero's sister's area, and when they got to the hospital to see Mero, "Satan, what are you doing here with your wife Jezebel? Did my sister not tell you that I don't want to see your disgusting face?" Mero asked John furiously. Mero, her elder sister and her husband were extremely shocked by what John and Elizabeth said. "Honey, please calm down. It is not what you've been thinking. Everything was a game. I never slept with Elizabeth, let alone fell in love with her. I did everything just to teach you lessons, but I am extremely sorry that everything turned out that way," John responded. "John, what are you saying? I don't get it. And where is the pregnancy that Elizabeth was carrying?" Mero asked confusingly. "It was a fake pregnancy, Mero. I just wanted the prank to look realistic. Elizabeth, please narrate everything to her," said John. "Ma, I am extremely sorry for everything you went through because of me. I cried day and night because of the pains your husband and I caused you. Ma, you're like an elder sister to me. You treated me like your blood sister. When you gave me the 1 million naira to sleep with your husband, I couldn't sleep that night. I had a sleepless night because of that. I didn't want to sleep with your husband because he is like my brother-in-law. Ma, I swear with my life I can't let you down. I remember when my mum was so sick, you were the one who gave me money to take her to the hospital, and you also paid her hospital bills. During my dad's burial last year, You and your husband contributed immensely to the burial. Ma, after you gave me the 1 million naira to sleep with your husband, my mind and spirit were seriously troubled. I couldn't sleep that night, Elizabeth explained. Flashback. Good morning, sir, Elizabeth greeted. Morning, Elizabeth. You look unhappy. What's troubling you this morning? John asked. Please, sir, I am not interested in working here any longer. I want to quit the job, Elizabeth replied. But why? What's wrong? Did my wife do anything bad to you? John asked. Not at all, sir. I want to use the little money I saved to establish a business, Elizabeth replied. Elizabeth, you're lying. That's not why you want to quit the job. Elizabeth, tell me the truth. What's wrong? Okay, sir, I will tell you, but please don't tell your wife. I won't tell her. Elizabeth, I am all ears, said John. Your wife gave me 1 million naira to seduce you and sleep with you, and she promised to give me an additional 1 million naira when I get pregnant for you. Sir, ever since she sent me that money, my mind has been seriously troubled. That's why I want to quit work, because I can't sleep with you, Elizabeth replied. Oh God, what's wrong with Miro? What should I do now? John said. Please, sir, I want to go. I don't want to work here anymore, said Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I understand, but calm down. Don't allow this to make you leave your comfort zone. I have a plan, said John. What plan, sir? Elizabeth asked. Any day my wife tells you to sleep with me, just let me know. I want to teach her very good lessons, said John. Okay, sir, but please, sir, I don't want us to do anything that will hurt her, Elizabeth replied. Don't worry about that, Elizabeth. Please go and continue with your work, said John. The next day, John installed CCTV cameras around the whole house. 2 days later, Miro collected the substance from Jennifer and put it in John's dinner. After Miro put the substance in John's food, she mistakenly left her phone unlocked on the dining table and went to shower. When John wanted to eat the food, he saw the phone and carried it just to check the time because he was not with his phone, and his football club was having a match in less than 15 minutes. As soon as he carried the phone, he saw a weird WhatsApp message. Miro, don't forget to put the substance in his food. John became extremely shocked and quickly went through all their chats. Thereafter, he threw the food away and pretended as if he had eaten the food. When Miro came out from the bathroom, she was very happy to see his plate emptied. Honey, you've finished? Miro asked. Yes, the meal was very delicious and amazing, John replied, and pretended as if he didn't see anything. After he finished watching his football match and his club won, he started misbehaving and talking fakely like he was drunk. When Miro realized that he was misbehaving, she knew the substance was working, so she forced him to enter their guest room. When he entered, Elizabeth entered too, locked the door, and when she wanted to sleep, on the same bed with John, John said, Elizabeth, you can't share a bed with me, so take this blanket, spread it on the floor and sleep. Elizabeth happily collected the blanket, spread it on the floor and slept. Around 5 a.m., John woke Elizabeth up and said, Elizabeth, you remember I told you that I want to teach my wife lessons? Yes, sir, I remember, Elizabeth replied. Okay, I want to pose like I am in love with you, and I will tell my wife that I am madly in love with you, that I enjoyed you on the bed more than her, said John. Please, sir, that's pure wickedness, and she would get hurt and frustrated badly. Please, I am not interested in the game. Please, sir, bring another game, said Elizabeth. Elizabeth, don't let that be your headache. She's my wife, and I need to teach her the lessons she will never forget in her entire life, John replied. Please, sir, I beg you in the name of God, terminate this game, please. It might ruin your marriage, Elizabeth begged. Elizabeth, my wife needs to learn in hard ways. Just play your roles and leave the rest for me, John replied. Okay, I will try, sir. But I don't want you people to have problems, please, said Elizabeth. There will be no problem at all. It's because of this game that I installed CCTV cameras all over this house so that she would watch what we've been doing, John responded. End of flashback. Honey, that was everything that happened. I swear I never knew you were truly pregnant. Please find a place in your heart to forgive me. John kneeled and apologized to Mero. Thereafter, Mero and John reconciled. 2 months later, Jennifer was released from police custody. John and Mero were about to relocate to another village with their twins on June 16th, and Pharaoh came to their house on June 14th, exactly 2 days before their travel. Good morning, bros, a man named Pharaoh greeted. Morning, I don't know you. Who are you? John asked. Bros, see, I didn't come here to answer your questions. Your wife here knows me very well. Last year, your wife gave me 2 million naira to sleep with her and get her pregnant. So I came to claim the twins, because they are my biological children. Madam, here is the 2 million naira that you gave me. Bros, hold on. Let me show you my proof. Your wife forgot this gown and these pants in my room. So I am coming back in the next 7 days to carry my children, said Pharaoh. Write the word continue in the comment section if you want a part 3.
If you made it to the end of part 2 of this thrilling story, then all I can say is congratulations and thank you. These videos really take a lot of time to make. But you guys' support really keep me going. Comments below and share this video with your friends and family. Also, like and subscribe to the channel so that you'll be the first to be notified when I drop a new video.
After Jennifer had been released from police custody and heard that Mero had given birth to twins, she became as mad as a bear with a sour head. That boy, who calls himself John, had the temerity to lock me up in police custody for almost 3 months. I will deal with him and his family. What will I do now to ruin their marriage? Jennifer started thinking of what she would do to cause havoc in Mero's matrimonial home. Suddenly, she reminisced that Mero gave her a gown, and she also forgot her paints that she hung in the bathroom that morning. She left Jennifer's house angrily. Thereafter, she called Pharaoh, and when Pharaoh came, Pharaoh, I have a job for you, and I will pay you handsomely to deliver the job perfectly, said Jennifer. Mama J, I am ready to carry out any mission. Just tell me what you want to do, and I'll deliver it, Pharaoh replied. I trust you, Pharaoh. Go to this address and meet the owner of the house. When you meet the man, tell him that his wife paid you 2 million naira last year to sleep with her and get her pregnant, so you're no longer interested in the deal that you came to claim the twins because they are your biological children, said Jennifer. Mama J, this job is not too clear because there is no strong evidence that would make her husband believe me, said Pharaoh. Hold on. Here is the woman's gown and pants, and this is fake 2 million naira in this nylon bag. Show the man the gown and pants, and also make sure that you show them this fake money so that they would know how serious you are. Pharaoh, if you show the man this evidence, I guarantee you that the man would believe you beyond a reasonable doubt, said Jennifer. Mama J, you're a game mistress, expect results. But when should I go for the mission? Pharaoh asked. Go on Saturday morning. The man would be around in the house that day, Jennifer responded. On Saturday morning, Mero and her husband were just discussing their travel plans before Pharaoh arrived. Elizabeth, I will be relocating to another village with my wife and my children between Monday and Tuesday. So we've put this house up for rent, but my wife and I have agreed to give you the boys' quarters to stay with your family until you build your house. Not only that, we've decided to give you my wife's shop and this check for 500,000 naira, said John. Oh my goodness, is this real? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Ma. God bless you people for helping a poor girl like me. Elizabeth appreciated them. Elizabeth, continue to be a good and faithful girl so that God will continuously shower you with his blessings, said Mero. While they were still discussing, their gate man named Emeka walked in and said, Oga, someone wants to see you. Who's that? John asked. Oga, I don't know him, Emeka replied. Okay, let me come and see the person. Honey, were you expecting anybody today? Mero asked. Not at all. As soon as John stepped out, Mero followed and stood by the door. Good morning, bros, Pharaoh greeted. Morning. I don't seem to know this face. Who are you, please? John asked politely. Bros, see, I didn't come here to answer your questions. Your wife here knows me very well. Last year, your wife gave me 2 million naira to sleep with her and get her pregnant, so I came to claim the twins because they are my biological children. Madam, here is the 2 million naira that you gave me. I am no longer interested in the deal. I want my children. Hey, young man, calm down. John turns to his wife. Honey, what's going on? John asked suspiciously. Babe, I don't know what this guy is talking about. I have never seen him before, let alone doing business with him. This is Jennifer's handiwork. She has started again, Mero murmured. Young man, you just heard my wife, so go back to whoever sent you to come and destroy my family before I get you arrested right now, John commanded. Bros, don't stress yourself too much. Just hold on. Let me show you my proof. Your wife forgot this gown and these her pants in my room. What? Mero, how could you do this to me? John asked sadly. Oh, Jennifer has finished me. Honey, it's not true, please, I can explain, Mero exclaimed. Mero, explain what? What do you want to explain? I remember this gown because I bought it for you. See, if I hear one more word from you, I will strangle you right now, John replied furiously. Hear me. I am coming back in the next 7 days to carry my children. I am Pharaoh. No man born of a woman can take what rightfully belongs to Pharaoh. Therefore, if I don't carry my children on that day, blood would flow. No one dares Pharaoh and goes scot-free. I am not afraid of any military, navy, or police. I will be back in 7 days. Pharaoh responded, threw the clothies on the ground, and walked away. Mero, so this was what you did to get pregnant? You had the guts to pay a notorious criminal to sleep with you and get you pregnant? Mero, I am done with this marriage. I am filing for divorce on Monday, said John. Please, sir, calm down. It hasn't gotten to that extent, please. I don't believe your wife could do that, but try and listen to her, please, Elizabeth begged. There is nothing this woman would tell me. If she didn't sleep with the guy multiple times, how then did the guy get her gown and her pants? John asked. John, I know you won't believe me because of what happened in the past. I gave that gown to Jennifer when I was in her house because she always admired the gown badly whenever I wore it. And I forgot those pants in a bathroom. I hung them the night before the morning that I hastily left her house. Honey, please don't allow Jennifer to ruin our marriage. But if you don't believe what I said, we can go for a DNA test for clarification, said Mero. I will never go for any DNA test. As far as I am concerned, you've slept with that man. If you could have the mind to drug and force me to sleep with Elizabeth and to also conspire with Jennifer to kill me, that means there is absolutely nothing you cannot do. I can't waste my money to go for any DNA test. I am fed up with this marriage. Mero, please, kindly go inside. Pack your belongings, carry those bastards, and leave my house this moment before you send me to my early grave, said John. Elizabeth and Mero begged John badly. After he remembered everything that Mero had done in the past, he couldn't control his temper, so he went inside, packed all the children's belongings, and threw them outside. So Mero kindly took the twins and drove sadly to her elder sister's place. The next Monday, John was about to go to court to file for divorce, and after Jennifer's housegirl named Susan heard that John was about to divorce Mero, she quickly came and said, "Please, sir, I heard that you want to divorce your wife because of what happened between her and Pharaoh. Sir, your wife is innocent. Jennifer, my madam, paid Pharaoh a huge amount of money to play the game. She intends to ruin your marriage." Susan, thank you very much. But how did Pharaoh get my wife's gown and undies and the 2 million naira? John asked. Sir, I saw when your wife gave my madam the gown, and I was the one who carried your wife's undies that she hung in the bathroom when I went to clean the bathroom the morning that she left my madam's house. After I took it, I gave it to my madam so that she would give it to her, but I never knew the two of them were quarrelling. I heard clearly when my madam gave Pharaoh the check and your wife's dresses as evidence for Pharaoh to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that your wife truly slept with him. So please reconcile with your wife speedily and confront my madam and Pharaoh with immediate effect before they fashion another attack, because my madam swore that she would leave no stone unturned until she ruins your marriage, said Susan. John appreciated the girl, so from there he went to Mero's elder sister's house. When he got there, he narrated everything Susan said to Mero, her sister, and her husband's sister, and he eventually apologized to Mero for his actions that day. John, I hold no grudges against you. I have forgiven you, but I won't marry you anymore, so go ahead and file for divorce. John, I have passed through hell since I got married to you. I can't continue to marry a man who doesn't believe and trust me. It's crystal clear that we were not destined to be together. As for these twins, as soon as they are weaned, I will give you the boy and carry the girl and move on with my life. I am tired. I don't want to die before my time. Mero replied courageously. Mero, listen to me. You quitting your marriage is not the best decision at all. Initially, you were the cause of everything that you and your husband are facing currently. Assuming you didn't share your family problems with your so-called best friend, she couldn't have had any access to your matrimonial home. You made the biggest mistake by disclosing your family's problems to your best friend, and it is based on the information you gave her that she had access to destroy your family. Probably, you thought she was truly your best friend. That was why you trusted her so much. My dear, not all that glitters is gold. Just because she smiles with you every day doesn't mean she wants the best for you. Have this at the back of your mind. Genuine people are as rare as a hen's teeth, so be extremely careful with whom you share your problems, especially your family problems. Running away from your problems won't solve your problems at all. Instead, you're nourishing the problems. Tackle them now, and leave no stone unturned until they are solved. What's happening to you is a family challenge, and there is no family without challenges, so don't allow anybody to flatter you that there is a family without challenges. Mero, follow your husband to your matrimonial home, stand firm with him, and tackle your family challenges courageously. May God help you and your husband to surmount these destructive challenges, said Mero's sister's husband. Thereafter, Mero and her husband reconciled, and after the reconciliation, Mero's sister said, John, sue Jennifer in court before she causes more havoc in your family. Madam, I don't have time to sue her. I am leaving this village very soon with my wife and my children. But I will arrest her as soon as possible, John replied. When they got home, John called the police to go and arrest Jennifer, and when Emeka, John's gate man, heard that John was calling the police to go and arrest Jennifer, Emeka hurriedly called Jennifer and told her to run away, that John was calling police to arrest her. Because Jennifer had paid Emeka, John's gate man, secretly to tell her everything that was going on in John's house. And he had been the one who secretly gave Jennifer all the information in the compound without John and Mero knowing. So before the police reached Jennifer's house, she quickly drove out to another village. A few days later, John summoned Emeka and John's driver, Chris, to inform them about his traveling. Chris and Emeka, I called you people here to inform you that my family and I will permanently relocate to another village anytime soon. You guys have been serving us faithfully for several years, so I want to appreciate you guys with these tokens. Chris, take this 200k, use it, and take care of yourself and your family. Emeka, this is 150k, use it and learn a trade or start up a small business. After they appreciated John, Emeka went inside and called Jennifer and told her that John and his family were planning to travel another village. So when Jennifer heard that, she called Pharaoh to go and kill the twins. The next evening, John and Mero went out, and as soon as they went out, Emeka called Pharaoh and told him that John and his family were going out. So Pharaoh and his gangs attacked them on the road. Pharaoh was looking for the twins to kill, but he couldn't find them because Mero didn't carry the twins. They kidnapped Mero and John. They took Mero to an incompleted building and chained her on a chair. And they took John to a bush and tied him to a tree. After they were kidnapped, Chris, John's driver, hastily drove to John's house to carry the twins and run to Mero's sister's house. Pharaoh and his gangs were on their way to John's house to kill the twins. Suddenly, Emeka called Pharaoh and told him that Elizabeth and Chris were running away with the twins to Mero's sister's house, and he called the name of the area for him. Pharaoh and his gangs quickly took a shortcut to meet them, and they truly met them on the road. While Chris was driving, he noticed a vehicle was pursuing him, and when the car was extremely close to him, he realized it was Pharaoh's car, and he increased the speed of the car. While he was driving, Elizabeth said with great fear, "Chris! Chris! Please, I beg you, in the name of God, take this way that leads to the military checkpoint, because chances are excellent that Pharaoh and his gangs would catch us if we continue to go to Madam's sister's house." So Chris quickly turned the car to the road that leads to the military checkpoints, and Pharaoh turned his car too and continued to chase them, and he was extremely close to them. And when they got to a junction, Chris speedily crossed to another road, and when Pharaoh wanted to cross the road, he never knew that a trailer was coming speedily on the road by his right, and as he was about to cross the road recklessly, the trailer crushed Pharaoh and his gangs, and they all died instantly. When Elizabeth realized that Pharaoh and his gangs were dead, she said, "Please, Chris, let's turn and go back to our Madame's sister's house so that these babies can eat and rest on time." So Chris turned the car and drove smoothly to Mero's sister's house. The next morning, Mero's sister, her husband and police officers began to look for John and Mero thoroughly, but they couldn't find them. 3 days later, John and Mero were still not found. At midnight, a hunter saw John in the bush. "Who are you?" the hunter asked. "Please, sir, help me. I was kidnapped and I have been tied to this tree for almost 4 days now without food and water," John murmured. So the hunter decided to untie him from the tree and took him to his house. As soon as it was morning, John appreciated the hunter for everything and said, "Please, sir, I want to go home right away. My family must have been crying because of me, and I don't know whether the kidnappers have killed my wife and 2-month-old twins or not. So please, I want to go. I will come back and see you sooner or later. Please." Thereafter, the hunter took John to a park and paid for his transport. When John reached home and got the shocking news that Mero was nowhere to be found, he cried out heavily because he thought Faroa had killed Mero. 6 days later, Mero was still not found, and everybody was thinking that Mero was dead. The next morning, there was a certain farmer named Abegi. Abegi was returning from his farm located deep in the forest when he started feeling like defecating. He then saw this uncompleted abandoned building. He hurriedly entered the uncompleted building. As soon as he got inside, he saw Mero sitting lifelessly on the chair with chains all over her body. She was as miserable as a wet hen and extremely feeble and strengthless. So when Abegi saw her, he was extremely shocked. Abegi hastily picked his cutlass and repeatedly struck the chain. He then cut the padlock that Faroa used to lock Mero. After he unchained Mero, he carried her on his back for about 2 kilometers until he got to the road. He flagged down every car passing until a good Samaritan woman stopped to help. "Please, ma, can you help us to the hospital? I just rescued this woman from what looks like a kidnap situation," said Abegi. The good Samaritan woman assisted in putting Mero in her car. They rushed Mero to a nearby hospital. When the doctor requested money to buy drips, blood, and oxygen for her, the Good Samaritan offered to foot the bills. 2 days later, Mero began to regain her strength, and she was able to talk gradually, so she asked for a phone to call her husband, John. John was on his way to burn down Jennifer's house after he went there several times to arrest her without seeing her. As John was about to enter Jennifer's compound to burn down her house, he got a strange call, and when he picked it up, "Hello, honey. Where are you?" "It's me, Mero. I borrowed this phone to call you." Oh my goodness, babe, is that your voice? Please, where are you?" John asked in desperation. And when Mero told him where she was, John drove swiftly to the hospital. When he got there, the doctor approached John with an update. "Sir, I have good news. Your wife is out of danger now, thanks to the timely actions of Mr. Abegi and a good Samaritan woman." John's face flooded with relief. "Thank God. What happened exactly?" "Mr. Abegi found your wife in a terrible state and quickly brought her in. But it was the mystery woman's quick thinking that saved her life." John ran his hands through his hair. "I don't even know how to thank this woman. Where is she? I need to express my gratitude." The doctor shook his head. "She didn't leave a name or number, I'm afraid. Wanted to remain anonymous. But surely there must be some way to contact her." John insisted. Abegi stepped forward. "Sir, the woman did instruct me to give you this." He handed John an envelope. John opened it to find a handwritten note and a stack of cash. His eyes went wide. 100,000 naira. But why? "She said it was in case any other expenses came up for your wife's care," Abegi explained. "Wanted to ensure you were covered." John was dumbstruck. I don't know what to say. Please take this money back. It's too much." Abegi waved him off. The woman insisted. She wouldn't take no for an answer when I tried to refuse as well. After a moment's thought, John relented. "Very well, you keep it then to cover your transportation and any troubles." "Thank you, sir." Abegi took out a pen. "Here, let me give you my number in case you need to reach me about the good woman." As they exchanged contacts, John could only wonder about the identity of the selfless stranger who had saved his wife's life. A few weeks later, John, Mero, and their twins succeeded in relocating to another village. After they relocated, Emeka was about to travel to his town to start a business. Unfortunately, he entered the wrong bus, and on his way, bad boys robbed everything from him, beat him badly, and emptied all his bank accounts. 6 months after John and his family relocated to another village, Jennifer's husband, Evans, who was based in the city, came back to spend time with his family. Evans was a successful businessman. He had 3 children, but his wife Jennifer only gave birth to a girl, and the girl was with Evans in the city. Jennifer never knew that her husband had 2 children, because Evans hid the children from her. So after Evans acquired a mansion in the city, he came back to relocate his wife Jennifer to the city. "Honey, you remember I told you to be patient, that I would come back and carry you to the city when I acquire a mansion?" Evans asked. "Yes, I remember, and I have been desperately waiting for you because I can't wait to relocate to the city," Jennifer replied. "Okay, I have successfully acquired a mansion, and I am relocating you to the city this month," said Evans. "Wow, but what you did is unfair. You acquired a mansion, and you didn't even bother to make it known to me on time. I notice you always keep secrets from me nowadays," Jennifer murmured. "Oh, I am very sorry. The truth is that I wanted it to come to you as a surprise. That was why I didn't make it known to you on time, but I am sorry anyway," Evans apologized. "It's okay. Apologies accepted. How is my daughter doing in the city?" Jennifer asked. "She's doing amazingly great. I miss her so much. I can't wait to see my only daughter," said Jennifer. "Sure, you would see her very soon. Honey, there is something I want us to do," said Evans. "What's that, honey?" Jennifer asked. "Okay, since I am relocating you to the city permanently, I want us to sell everything we have in the village," Evans replied. "Okay, that's not a big deal, but are we selling this our house?" Jennifer asked. "Everything. House, lands, cars, your shops, and the properties we have," Evans replied. Jennifer agreed to sell all their properties in the village. 3 weeks later, Evans and Jennifer sold all their properties. 2 days to their traveling, Evans said, "Honey, transfer all the money you have in your account to my account so that I can now run a joint account, and as soon as we reach the city, we will open a joint account for us, so you can also have access to all my money and your money." She was a little hesitant, but on hearing that she will have access to all the money her husband has, Jennifer happily transferred all the money she had in her bank accounts to Evans' account. And Evans also told Jennifer not to carry many clothes, that she should carry one small travel bag, that there was a variety of clothes in her wardrobe in the city already. So Jennifer gave her clothes to her neighbors, church members, and her friends. On their traveling day, Jennifer and Evans were standing in the park to enter the bus where the park was situated. While they were waiting for the driver to load the bus, a strange lady came out from a cab with a military man, and she hugged Evans romantically in Jennifer's presence. "Evans, what sort of madness is this? Who is this girl?" Jennifer asked furiously. "Jennifer, hold on. Evelyn, this is Jennifer, my ex-wife, the lady that I told you about." "Jennifer, this is Evelyn, my wife," Evans replied. "Evans, I don't get it. Who is your ex-wife?" Jennifer asked confusingly. "Jennifer, calm down. Let me reveal some deep mysteries for you that I have been hiding from you. I secretly got married to Evelyn 5 years ago after you insulted and abused my mum, and she has been with me since the year I relocated to the city. She was the reason why I didn't want you to come to the city, and so far, she has given birth to 2 children. Jennifer, I am sorry to say this, but you're not traveling with me because I never booked a flight for you. I did everything just to teach you lessons, so kindly go back to your father's house because you're not going anywhere with me," said Evans. "Evans, you're joking." "Oh yes, you're joking," said Jennifer. "Babe, the cab driver is waiting for us, so can we just get out of here?" Evelyn asked. "Pretty sure. Please, let's go, please," Evans replied. "Evans, Stand here, you're not going anywhere. After I sold everything I have in my entire life, including my house and my shops, and transferred to you all the money in my bank accounts, and you want to dump me, it can never happen, said Jennifer. Jennifer, was I not the one who gave you all the money to acquire all these things you are talking about? The house and cars were mine, so what's now your problem if I decided to sell my properties? Evans asked. Evans? You must refund all the money that I transferred to you, else you're not going anywhere, said Jennifer. Jennifer, if I send you a dime, call me a bastard. You had the guts to call my lovely mum a witch and all sorts of negative names. You lured me to throw my lovely mum out of my house at night, and you made my family hate me with a passion. And you believe superstitiously that I can still marry a family destroyer like you. Do you know what I went through before I could reconcile with my family? Jennifer, I promise you, until you die, you will never hear our daughter's voice, let alone see her with these evil eyes of yours. Out of my way, Jezebel, said Evans. Jennifer held Evans' shirt and said, Evans, you're not going. It's either you kill me here, or I will kill you. Hey, woman, keep your hands down and behave yourself, said the military man. Jennifer, let me warn you, if you dare touch me with your filthy hands, I will tell this soldier to embarrass you here. I hired him because of you. So kindly respect yourself and go back to your father's house to avoid public harassment. Baby, please, I am sorry to waste your time. Let's go. Evans and his wife Evelyn entered the cab, and the cab driver drove them away. As soon as they left, Jennifer slumped, so people who were in the park rushed her to a nearby hospital. When they got to the hospital, they paid the doctor some money to treat her, and they left. When Jennifer regained consciousness, she discovered that her phone, expensive jewelry, bracelets, golden and silver rings, and wristwatches were nowhere to be found in her luggage and handbag, and she cried out because that was her only hope. After she miserably left the hospital, she went to her friends' houses, and none of them could accommodate her because of what she did to Mero and John. In the evening, she went to one of her church members' houses, and the woman accepted her. But when her husband came back, he asked what Jennifer was doing at his house. Honey, what is this lady doing here? Have you suddenly forgotten who she is? Honey, she was scammed by her husband. As of speaking right now, she doesn't have anything. So, please allow her to stay here until she gets an apartment. She replied, God forbid, she can't stay in my house. She might ruin our marriage overnight. Have you forgotten what she did to her best friend? Please, I am sending her out of my compound right away. He replied, Madam, with due respect, you can't stay in my house. Please take this N10K and look for a guest house and sleep, said the man. Thereafter, Jennifer went to her lover's house. Jennifer, what are you doing in my house? Have I not warned you not to step your feet in my compound? He asked. Please, Victor, allow me to sleep anywhere in your house. I don't have anywhere to go. My husband scammed me and sold everything I had and ran away with the money. Jennifer begged. That's just the beginning. You haven't seen anything. Jennifer, you can't enter my house. Your heart is full of evil. But I can only permit you to sleep in my gateman's room or my garage. The choice is yours, he replied. Please, Victor, allow me to sleep on your balcony, Jennifer begged with teary eyes. Madam, if you can't sleep in my gateman's house or garage, then get out of my compound. Okay, I will sleep in the gateman's house, but please tell your gateman not to touch me, said Jennifer. That's your business, not mine, the man replied. Jennifer didn't have any other option than to sleep in a gateman's house because she didn't have anywhere else to go. None of her family members were living in the same town as her, and she didn't have a good relationship with her family. All her family hated her because of her unpleasant behavior. As soon as daybreak, she took the 10K that the man gave her and went to a deadly shrine to make her husband go mad. Mysteriously, when she got there, the chief priest gave her a mysterious charm and instructed her to wake up at midnight and call the name of her husband, Evans, 7 times, that Evans would run mad instantly and everything she lost would be restored. Jennifer left the shrine blissfully. At midnight, she silently woke up and carried the mysterious charms and tiptoed to a backyard and called Evans' name 7 times and said, "Evans, wherever you are now, I command you to run mad mysteriously." After Jennifer did everything, she went back to the gateman's house and continued with her sleeping, and when she woke up in the morning, everybody was extremely shocked by what Jennifer suddenly transformed into. Write the word, continue in the comment section if you want a part 4. The final showdown.
This story is about to get even more interesting. Therefore, I really need to know that you are enjoying the story. So say something in the comment section, or you can comment whatever it is that you like. I really want to see that you guys are enjoying the story for me to be motivated to post the next story. So please, first of all, subscribe. Secondly, please make sure to like the video. And thirdly, please write a comment, write anything. So first of all, tell me how interesting the story is and what you've actually learned.
When the gateman saw Jennifer, he shouted, "Holy ghost fire! Holy ghost fire! Sir, come out! There is a witch in your compound!" Jesus Christ! Blood of Jesus! Ocon, what happened to her? The man asked. "Sir, I don't know. I just woke up the morning and saw her like this," the gateman replied. "Jennifer, I warned you countless times to refrain from evil and wickedness, but you didn't listen. Now the law of karma has caught up with you. Ocon, open the gate for her to leave before she suffocates me with unpleasant smells," said Victor. Thereafter, Jennifer ran speedily to the native doctor's shrine, who had given her the mysterious charms, and when she got there, the native doctor was extremely shocked to see what she has transformed into. Wise one, please help me. After I did everything you instructed me to do, I woke up with these mysterious conditions," Jennifer exclaimed. "Woman, there is absolutely nothing I can do to help you. I warned you to be patient and leave your husband alone, but you insisted on making him mad. Now look at the calamity you've brought upon yourself. Woman, leave my shrine. I cannot help you," the native doctor responded. Jennifer miserably went to another spiritualist who had warned her not to attempt to attack her husband. "Help me, please. My life is in danger," Jennifer cried out. "Woman, what happened to you?" the spiritualist asked. "After you warned me not to attack my husband, I couldn't control myself because of depression and frustration. So I decided to go and get a charm from a deadly shrine to make my husband mad. After I did everything the native doctor instructed me to do, I woke up this morning and saw myself like this. Woman, I warned you to be patient. Your problem has just one solution," said the spiritualist. "What's that, please? Tell me. I am extremely willing to do anything to get rid of these mysterious circumstances," Jennifer asked. "Woman, go and seek forgiveness from the people you've badly offended and make sure they have forgiven you. Woman, if you can do what I just said, I guarantee you speedy recovery from this mysterious condition," the spiritualist replied. Jennifer summoned courage regardless of her conditions and went to seek forgiveness from the people she had offended, and all those people sincerely forgave her apart from Miro and John, who were in another village. She tried her best to reach them, but she couldn't access them. So she went to the spiritualist and told him that she had apologized to the people she had offended, and they all forgave her aside her best friend and her husband, who were in another village. Woman, without your best friend and her husband's forgiveness, you would remain with these conditions forever, said the spiritualist. Please, wise one, I have tried to no avail. What can I do to access them? Jennifer asked sadly. There is absolutely nothing you can do to access them, but they would come to the village for a marriage ceremony very soon. So go, and patiently waiting for them. The spiritualist responded. Jennifer's life became as miserable as a wet hen. She was rejected by everybody, and she often slept in a house that had been abandoned many years ago. Life became as hard as Chinese algebra for Jennifer. She usually ate from dustbins. Jennifer attempted committing suicide countless times, but death was very far away from her. During a festive season, Mero's younger brother named Daniel, who was based in another village, came to the village for a holiday and brought some gifts from Mero and John to Elizabeth and Chris. Daniel got to John's house, where Elizabeth was staying, to deliver the gifts to her. "Good afternoon, sir," Elizabeth greeted. "Thank you. Are you Elizabeth?" Daniel asked. "Yes, sir, I am," she replied. "Please stop calling me sir. I am Daniel, your madam's younger brother." "Wow, you're highly welcome, sir, Daniel." "Thank you. My sister said I should give you this parcel." "Oh my goodness, thank you very much, sir." "Oh, sorry, Daniel." "It's fine. So you're the Elizabeth that my sister and her husband talks a whole lot about." "Yes, sir." "Sorry, Daniel, please, sir. Don't be offended. I am very used to calling someone older than me, sir. That's why I keep calling you sir, despite your warning." "It's okay. I understand. What's your level of education?" Daniel asked. "I am done with secondary school, but I intend to further my education sooner or later," she replied. "Wow, that is amazing. My sister told me all the excellent roles you've played in our family, but she never told me that you were as pretty as a speckled pup," said Daniel. Daniel, stop flattering me." "Elizabeth, I am not trying to flatter you. I am pretty serious." "Elizabeth, I must confess unashamedly that your natural cuteness is beyond comparison," Daniel replied. "Oh, thank you very much for the compliment. I am honored." "You're welcome. I am in haste to go somewhere very significant right now. I will surely come back so that we can discuss something very delightful," Daniel replied. The next morning, Daniel's mom asked, "Daniel, you remember you told me to find you a very beautiful and responsible girl to marry?" "Yes, Mummy, I remember," Daniel responded. "Fine. Here is the girl that I have found for you. Her name is Michelle. She just graduated as a first-class student from Igbama University, one of the best universities in the city. She's highly educated. Her father was a commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of this state, and her mum is my best friend." "So how do you see her?" Daniel's mom asked. "Michelle, please excuse us. Don't be offended," said Daniel. "All right, no problem," Michelle replied and excused them. "How do you see her?" Daniel's mum asked. "Mum, she's beautiful. She's the type of girl that every man would want to spend his life with." "But, Mum, I am very sorry to say this. I am already in love with someone else," said Daniel. "Who is she? Is she a graduate?" Daniel's mum asked. "Mum, she's not a graduate, but she's done with secondary school," Daniel replied. "Daniel, I will never allow you to marry an illiterate into this family. Have you suddenly forgotten that you're from an educated home?" "Mummy, all these things you are saying don't concern me at all. Everything is my choice, so I have my full right to choose whoever I want in my life," Daniel replied. How long have you known this illiterate stranger you are talking about? Daniel's mom asked. I met her just yesterday, Mom, Daniel replied. What? Daniel, are you okay? Mummy, I am very okay. Daniel, I will never allow you to turn down Michelle because of this poor illiterate stranger. Not when I am still alive, Daniel's mom replied furiously. Mummy, calm down. You're stressing yourself too much over this matter. I am a master's degree holder, so it's not compulsory that I must marry a graduate. Mummy, I am not seeking a girl who is from a rich background or who has an excellent certificate. I am after a girl who has good character, a girl who is humble, faithful, trustworthy, hardworking, reliable, responsible, and God-fearing. And this girl I am talking about has all the qualities that I want in a girl, Daniel replied. How do you know? I thought you said you just met her, Daniel's mom asked. Well, Mom, she was Mero's housegirl. So Mero and her husband told me a whole lot about the girl, Daniel replied. Daniel, come again. Did you just say Mero's housegirl? She asked curiously. Yes, Mummy, any problem? Not really. What is the girl's name? Daniel's mom eagerly asked, and when Daniel mentioned Elizabeth's name, Daniel was super amazed by his mom's reactions. Mummy, her name is Elizabeth, Daniel replied. Daniel, are you saying you're in love with Elizabeth who worked for Mero? Yes, Mummy. Do you have any problem with her? Daniel asked. Not at all. But you could have told me initially that you were talking about Elizabeth. I wouldn't stress you and stress myself also, she replied. Wow, so Mummy, do you like the girl? Pretty sure. I love Elizabeth exceedingly. I never thought of her before. She's super amazing. Her type is as rare as a hen's teeth. Your two sisters and their husbands told me the wondrous roles Elizabeth played in my family, and I was super amazed. Son, if it is Elizabeth you want to marry, then you have my total support, she replied. Thank you very much, Mom. You're welcome, son. Please call Michelle. Okay, Mom. Michelle, please, my mom is calling you. Okay, I am coming, Michelle replied. Michelle, I am very sorry for what I am about to say. The marriage plan between you and my son won't work out, please. He said he's already in love with another girl, so there is absolutely nothing I can do at this point to convince him to marry you, said Daniel's mom. It's fine, Ma. I eavesdropped on everything. I love his decision. It's very wise and crucial for a man to choose a woman whom he wants to marry by himself, so I hold no grudge against you and him, Michelle replied. Thank you, my daughter. Thank you very much, Michelle, for your understanding. Daniel appreciated her. A few days later, Daniel went to John's house to see Elizabeth, and when he got there, Elizabeth was about to go to work. You're welcome, Daniel. Good morning, Elizabeth greeted. Morning, how are you doing? He asked. I am good, and you? I am pretty fine. Elizabeth, I came to discuss something very significant with you, said Daniel. Daniel, please, I am very sorry. I am in haste to go to my shop. Can you postpone the discussion until evening, please? In that case, I will accompany you to your shop so that we discuss it there, Daniel replied. Okay, no problem. When they got to the shop, he assisted her in tidying and arranging the shop, and after the arrangement, they started their discussion. First and foremost, I want to introduce myself to you. My name is Dr. Daniel. I am a medical doctor and I work in a private hospital in the city. I just acquired a house in the city a few months ago, so I came to the village in search of a wife. Wow, that's awesome, but I still find it very difficult to believe you're a medical doctor, said Elizabeth. May I know why? Daniel asked. Because you're super modest and simple, she replied. Oh, that's my lifestyle. Elizabeth, be sincere. Do you have a fiancé, or are you in a serious relationship? Not at all. All my focus is on my business, so I don't have that time to fall in love with any man for now. I prefer to be a lone wolf than to be in a relationship with someone who would mess up my life and flee. So I am very okay to be a lone wolf, Elizabeth replied. Wow, that's interesting. But what if I tell you that I am in love with you? Will you believe me? Daniel asked. You in love with me? That's impossible. I don't believe you at all, Elizabeth replied. Well, Elizabeth, I am genuinely in love with you. I started having feelings for you right from the day my sister and her husband told me everything about you. I was extremely amazed when my brother-in-law told me the roles that you and he played when my sister was desperate to have a child. Elizabeth, can I tell you the truth? You're the reason why I came from the city to the village. I never intended to come to the village this year, but when my sister and her husband told me how responsible and faithful you are, I decided to come. And when I told my mum about you a few days ago, she was blissful, and she can't wait for us to get married. Elizabeth, I love you so much. Will you marry me, please? Daniel proposed. Daniel, please don't do this. Stand up. I am very sorry, I can't marry you, Elizabeth replied. But why? Because we're not in the same societal class. Your level is far beyond mine. Please look for a girl that's up to your standard, Elizabeth replied. Elizabeth, forget about my status. I love you irrespective of whatever status you are insinuating. I love you unconditionally. So will you marry me? Daniel asked. I will marry you on one condition, she replied. What condition, please? I desire to go to school, so you will promise to send me to school, she replied. Elizabeth, I promise to send you to any level of education you desire. Are you okay now? Yes, I will marry you, Elizabeth replied. A week later, Daniel paid Elizabeth's dowry, and they fixed the date for their traditional marriage and wedding. A few days later, back in Evan's house in the city, Jennifer's daughter insisted on seeing her mom. Daddy, may I know why you don't want me to talk to my mom? Jennifer's daughter asked. Princess, your mother is very wicked, so I don't want you to talk to her, Evans replied. Daddy, I desire to see and talk to my mom. Princess, I will never allow you to see your mum. Just forget about her, Evans replied. Daddy, I miss my mom pretty much, so I want you to take me to the village. I want to stay with my mom, the princess insisted. Princess, I can grant you any other request, but I will turn down this particular request. Daddy, what's going on between you and my mom? She asked. Princess, your mother is an evil woman, so don't think of staying with her because she might kill you, Evans replied. Daddy, I don't care whether she's evil or not. All I know is that she's my mom, and I desire to stay with her, so if I perish, I perish. The princess still stood by her decision. Princess, what's wrong with you this afternoon? Are you sure you're normal? Evans asked. Daddy, there is absolutely nothing wrong with me. I want to stay with my mum, and that's all. I said you will never see her. Daddy, I must see my mum. Get out of my presence before I slap you right now. What's wrong with this girl? Evans commanded her, and she ran inside the kitchen. Honey, please take it easy on her. She's just a little girl, said Evelyn. Ah, Princess, what's the meaning of this? What are you doing with the knife? Evans asked. Daddy, if you don't promise to take me to the village to see my mum, I will stab myself with this knife right now, said the princess. Princess, put down the knife, please. If your dad doesn't want to take you to the village to see your mum, I will take you there, please, Evelyn replied. My angel, please, I promise to take you to the village next month. Please drop the knife, said Evans. Okay, but Daddy, If you fail to fulfill your promise, I will kill myself. Do you agree? The princess asked. Yes, my angel, I agree. A month later, Mero, her husband, and their twins arrived in the village for Danielle and Elizabeth's marriage ceremony. And Mero was 5 months pregnant by this time. When Jennifer heard Mero and John were around, she summoned courage and went to their house to seek their forgiveness. "Old smelling mad woman, what are you doing here?" the gateman asked. "Please, I want to see Mero and John. Allow me to see them," Jennifer begged. "Please go, they don't want to see you," said the gateman. John and Mero were about to go out. "Sam, open the gate," said John. "Honey, please reverse. I can see a mad woman by our gate. I wonder what she is looking for," said Mero. John reversed, and they were shocked when they saw Jennifer. "Please, John and Mero, I am very sorry for everything I did to you people. Please forgive me," Jennifer murmured. Jennifer narrated everything to them and sought their forgiveness. If God, the creator of the universe and the giver of life, can forgive humans and still show his mercy, then who am I not to forgive you? Jennifer, stand up. I have sincerely forgiven you, and may God have mercy on you and heal you from these mysterious conditions, said John. Thank you very much, John. Please, Mero, forgive me, said Jennifer. Jennifer, you would rather die with these conditions than I ever forgive you, Mero replied. Babe, please forgive her and let bygones be bygones, said John. I will never forgive this woman. She almost ruined my entire family. She's evil. She doesn't deserve my forgiveness, Mero replied. Please, Mero, have mercy on me. I have passed through hell because of what I did to you and your husband. Please forgive me. If you don't forgive me, I might die in these situations. Babe, to err is human, to forgive divine. Please, honey, find a place in your heart to forgive her, said John. It's okay, Jennifer. I have forgiven you, and may God forgive you and grant you mercy, Mero replied. The next day, Jennifer started recovering gradually from the mysterious conditions. A few days later, Daniel and Elizabeth had their wedding. A week after their wedding, Evans and Princess arrived in the village, and before then, Jennifer had completely recovered from the mysterious conditions. Jennifer, I brought you Princess. She insisted on staying with you. Here are the documents for the house that I bought in the village because of her. Please take good care of her. I will be sending you 500,000 naira monthly to take care of her expenses because I don't want her to experience any hardship, and I will be coming yearly to the village to see her, said Evans. It's okay. I am happy to see my daughter. I thought I wouldn't see her anymore. Thank you for bringing her to me, Jennifer replied. Well, I am very sorry for everything that happened. I did everything to teach you lessons and hoped you turn a new leaf. Evans apologized. It's okay, Evans. It wasn't your fault. I have learned my lessons in hard ways. I just learned that whatever a man sows, so shall he reap. If he sows good, he will reap good, and if he sows evil, he will surely reap evil, said Jennifer. A few months later, Mero and John welcomed another set of twins, a boy and a girl, and they lived happily ever after.